Hello and welcome to my channel. So in this video I'm going to do a reading for the new moon in Leo that we have coming up tomorrow on Sunday the 4th of August. So I'm also going to talk about the astrology, I'll do a card reading, and I'm going to get straight into the astrology. So this new moon, it's such a big one and I love it. I love new moon and Leo energy so much. I love Leo energy so much in general. So Leo is really asking us to just like shine brightly. It is much more concerned with like us shining brightly so that we can be of service to other people. It's not just this, like Leo gets a bit of a bad rap or a misconception that it's all about ego. That's the shadow side, but in its sort of highest form, it's really more about like, how can I be my biggest, brightest self so that I can actually help others be their highest selves because they are inspired by us. So this new moon is all about setting intentions in the realms of Leo energy. So Leo, it rules the 5th house in astrology, which is the house of creativity, of play, of fun, of it's known as the house of pleasure. So I'm like, it's just so much fun, like I love it and it's so helpful. And I think like Leo energy, I love it because it really helps us to sort of step up and lead in a way that like really empowers us and the collective. So I'm always like, it helps us. What I find Leo energy to do as well in Leo season, and I've really found this for myself certainly, is how much it like empowers us to be brave and to have courage and take more risks and show more of who we are, even if people don't like it. So let's talk about this a little bit, because I think that women in particular got the conditioning that you needed to be good, you needed to be small, and you needed to be, you know, pretty and not too loud because then people might not like it and they might be offended. And there's this real sort of thing in our culture of like women having to just be pleasing and small so that other people feel comfortable. But Leo reminds us that that doesn't serve anyone when we're playing small, when we're not being our full, truest, biggest selves. And I've just found like this season to be so helpful for me to step into that. Like even just like dyeing my hair, it's like, I've wanted to do this for ages and it's like, and I didn't because it's like, oh, what if it's just like too loud? And it is loud. I mean, look at it, you know, but it's like that, but it, by me doing that makes me feel more expressed and makes me feel like good and like alive. And someone else watching might be like, do you know what? I want to do that. And it inspires them to do that. And it's like, that's the whole thing that Leo reminds us is like our bigness helps like other people as well as ourselves. And I just love that about Leo. So this particular new moon is happening, it has a sort of really helpful sextile, so a helpful like aspect to Mars and Jupiter. So Mars and Jupiter are currently in Gemini, which will help us to feel like more like Mars is the planet of drive, of motivation, of like courage, and Jupiter is the planet of expansion, of abundance, of wealth sometimes, like I mean a lot of the time. And they're both in the sign of Gemini, which is all very, very quick, fast acting. So the downside of this is that this lunation actually wants us to set intentions that's more around like the longer term, bigger picture stuff rather than the quick wins. So this Mars Jupiter might make it a bit harder for us to have more patience because Mars is like, let's go, I want quick wins, I want, you know, yeah, tick that off the list, woo, that's Mars, right? But this lunation, because we've got Saturn in retrograde now and Mercury is about to go into retrograde the day after the new moon. So it's actually asking us to slow things down. It's not about taking quick actions. It's more about setting goals or intentions. I don't really like to use the word goals personally. Doesn't resonate for me. Around things that are longer term. So for instance, like, but something that sets your soul on fire, that you are really passionate and you really like just want deeply. So let's say for instance, you wanted to like start a family. That's not the kind of thing that even if you set that intention now of like, right, I want kids and I want to do that, that's not going to happen tomorrow. You're not going to have a child tomorrow. So it's that kind of thing. So it might not be anything to do with children, although it could well be. But the point is, it's something that your soul desperately, deeply wants. It's so much about the soul, it's so much about the heart, it's so much about having courage. And here's the thing about the soul wants what it wants, and it's not convenient. Like, the amount of times I've been like, why do I want this thing that's like requires me to like really step up, it requires so much from me, and I'm like, but I want it and I don't know why, but I do. Our desires are not in our control, as I would see it. But it is our duty to pay attention to them, even if they're inconvenient, which most of the time they are. Like, my desire is inconvenient. But it's really asking us to like step out of the way, like our ego, our fear, our like, no, but that's not possible, stuff. And be like, what does my soul, what's the thing that scares you? Because the thing about Leo is that it's all about the heart, and the heart is about courage. Like, courage is the thing that we do the thing in the face of fear. So what's the thing that scares you that you know you want, and you're like, I do kind of like want to be a, you know, singer. Like, I am actually a singer, but like, you know what I mean? Like, something that scared the shit out of me. Like, this realizing like, oh man, I really do want to be a musician. And I denied it forever, and then like I actually decided to like do something about that, and now I'm doing that, and that's amazing. But it required the most amount of courage, so much courage, so much stuff came up, and it was like this big thing. But would I change it? No, because now I've like worked through a lot of that, and it's so fulfilling and I love it. But like, if I'm telling you it was an easy ride, that would be a lie. It was not. Like, it was such a challenge for me to get through that. But I'm so glad I did, because ultimately, like I say, the amount of times I was like, I really wish I didn't want this, and I ignored it for so long. Like, I really did, because I just didn't want to have to deal with the emotional repercussions of having to step up to that, honestly. But I did, and not only am I now doing the things I really want to do, but like I also get to see the strength that came from that. And like, think Leo again is the strength card in tarot. It's like when we rise to the occasion and we actually like finally surrender to the thing that we actually want, then like we see what we're made of. Like the confidence it's brought me, like if I can face my deepest fears because my soul inconveniently wants this, then I feel like a total, like I can do anything, I'm capable of anything, like try me. It's that kind of energy and I love it. Anyway, so that's kind of like Leo in a nutshell. But yeah, there is a few other astrological bits happening. Venus will be helpful in this particular lunation as well, because Venus is currently in Leo. However, it is going to move into Virgo later in the day on Sunday. So it will be helpful in the beginning, but it's going to change signs into its fall, which is not super comfortable there. Like the fall is its least comfortable place. Venus doesn't love to be in Virgo, but hey ho, we'll deal with that later and we'll talk about that in a different video. Okay, so that's kind of this new moon, and if you want more help with that, I have done a workbook and a workshop specifically on this, going through rituals and practices and journal prompts and breath work and all that kind of fun stuff in my membership. It's completely free to try it. You can do a trial. If it's not for you, you can cancel and you don't have to pay a thing. And if you do love it, you can stay, and it's only $7 a month. It's completely up to you. If it calls to you, great. If it doesn't, don't worry about it. But yeah, it will be really going deep into this. And as you can see from my enthusiasm, I would encourage you to do it because it does like encompass everything we're talking about here. Okay, so I'm going to use Aleister Crowley's Thoth Tarot Deck to look at the new moon energies, how to embrace the energy and all that kind of stuff. Okay, let's just put those back because that's a bit too soon. So looking at the new moon energies, please, for Leo tomorrow. It's happening tomorrow. New moon in Leo, please. Ooh, nearly. Thank you. Oops. Nope, sorry. Too many again. Okay. Right, I'm laughing because it is Leo's card and it's my favourite card and I love it. Okay. Yes, going after your shameless desire. Like, this new moon desperately wants us to just be like, how can, like, what would our fullest potential look like? Like, journaling on that. What does our potential look like? How do we shine? How do we step out of this, like, oh no, like it doesn't want modesty. It's not interested in that. Look, just feel into the energy of that card. Babylon riding the seven-headed beast. Going after your shameless desire, what your soul wants, even if it's inconvenient as hell. Okay, so we've also got, interestingly, the Nine of Swords, cruelty. So this, I feel like it is for some of us going to be really challenging because some people are going to love it, me, but it doesn't mean it's not challenging, right? It does sort of ask us to show up, to step up, to be the leaders. Yes, that is very empowering, and it's also like, oh god, like, what if people don't like me? And like, I've really noticed this season, like, people don't like it when I'm being more expressed. Like, I've noticed even in these videos, I'm more and more who I am, and there's a backlash, you know? So Nine of Swords is like, where are you being, like, holding yourself back? It's asking us to be like, we need to stop holding ourselves back, because there is also this sort of like, let me just feel into this for a second. This is Mars and Gemini card, isn't it? Yeah, it is, which Mars is in Gemini right now. So Mars and Gemini can be a little bit tricky. It's like where we're a little bit too hard on ourselves. So yeah, there is this sort of energy at the moment that's like, I can't possibly do that because it's going to hurt people, it's going to offend people, they're going to be uncomfortable, they're not going to like it. But what Leo reminds us is that it's not helpful for ourselves or for other people to stay small in the name of safety. Like, that's the truth of it. Like, we have to be okay and willing to feel the sensation of other people not liking us. Like I say, like, I have been going through this. It's that, you know, particularly from other women, I have found that to be the case, where when you shine too brightly, they're like, oh no, don't do that. But like, we're allowed to take up space, we're allowed to be big, we're allowed to shine, we're allowed to be successful, we're allowed to have money, we're allowed, like, these are all things that we need to remember and not allow some, like, what are we afraid of? What is this shrinking thing? Like, who are we afraid we're going to piss off? You know, it's just not serving you. And if this is resonating for you and you're like, I need to do something, then like, do something that would require like courage, that, and allow yourself to be the bad guy. Like, this is the thing that I remind myself of all the time, is like, it's okay to be the villain in somebody else's story. We'll let that marinate for a second. It is okay. If you're watching this right now and I'm pissing you off, there's something about me, something about my energy that's like upsetting you, it's okay for you to see me like that. I will still love you. And like, that's the thing. It's like, that shouldn't be why I stopped though, because it's like, oh no, I got one negative comment. Like, no, we have to stop this. That's what Leo wants for us. Okay. And then we've got, interestingly, the adjustment card. What adjustments do we need to make in order to step into our fullest, brightest selves? What things need to shift? What things need to change? What things are no longer, like, are getting in the way, really? Yeah. Okay. How to embrace these energies. You are allowed to just want what you want, and it doesn't have to be for any other reason other than the fact that you just want it. Because sometimes we're like, well, I want it because da 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 da. It's like, maybe you don't. Maybe you just want it. That's okay. Okay. How to embrace these energies, please. Interesting. So here we've got two cards, actually. We've got Ace of Swords and Six of Swords, Science. Okay, so immediately my thought there is, embracing so Ace of Swords speaks of like new ideas, inspiration, like newfound clarity. So in terms of embracing the energy, it's like acting on your inspiration, acting on your ideas, like not having to sort of overthink this too much. And just know that like Six of Swords, like moving into smoother, it's going to take you somewhere on a journey. It's going to like allow yourself to go on the journey, because that's what this card speaks of. So it's like embracing these energies is allowing your inspiration to lead the way and take you on a journey. How fun is that? I love that. Yeah, okay. What not to do? Around this new moon in Leo, please. What not to do? Like this. Okay. The star. So the star, not the star. Okay. So the star speaks of like our hopes, our dreams, our being optimistic. It's like, don't lose faith. Don't lose faith in your dreams. Don't lose faith in what is possible. It's all about your highest soul potential, what your soul is craving. Like we've got the Lionsgate portal as well, which is all about the deep soul, like passion. Not losing faith in your dreams. Like if you can visualize it, then it can happen. Like that's really the thing. It's like the star is all about like our visions, right? So get like I would encourage you around this lunation to like visualize the new intentions that you're setting for yourself in terms of how you express yourself, how you are creative, how you bring your gifts to the world, how you serve, how you lead. Like imagine yourself doing it, and like believe if it's something that you just know you're meant to do, but you're like, oh, but people are not gonna like it and they're gonna like da. Imagine it anyway, and just like know that if the desire is calling you, it's because you're meant to have it. You're meant to have it. I wish I could just like instill that. Okay, what is on the other side of this new moon, please? Yeah, new moon, yeah. Thought I was saying the wrong thing there. Right. 10 of Cups, satiety, fulfillment, happiness, joy, happy times with family for some of you as well. Yeah, feeling sense of satisfaction. I mean, what's more to say about that? Like, that's the whole thing. Like, courage obviously feels scary because that is what is required. Like, courage doesn't, sorry, let me try again. Fear doesn't exist when we're being courageous. No. Let me try that again. Courage doesn't exist without fear. Thank you. Right. So what that means is like, it's not courage if there's no fear, right? Bravery doesn't have fear, but courage requires fear and vulnerability for it to be courageous. And obviously that feels scary, right? Because it brings up fear for us. But on the other side of fear and not pushing through our fear, but overcoming our fear, and doing the scary thing anyway, and allowing ourselves to be seen and disliked and maybe even socially isolated or like, you know, like ostracized, you will also attract all the right people as well, right? Like that's the thing we have to remember. You will also inspire so many people when you do this. Like you are like, I would love to say when you step up and like lead that everyone's just going to be like, oh my God, well done, like you did it. That's not going to happen, but that's okay. It is totally okay that some people are not going to like it. We can't stop in the name of that. Like we deserve our happiness. We deserve abundance. We deserve all of this. Like it is completely okay. We have to get really good at being the villain in someone else's story. If I had to summarize it, it would be that. Shine anyway, even if they're telling you it's too bright. Do it. Okay, that is everything for this reading. I hope that inspired you. I hope that lit something up in you. I hope that like, I don't know, like just woke something up in you, because god damn it, we need this message so much. So thank you so much for watching. I do not take for granted your time and attention watching this. I really do appreciate it. Even the people that don't like it, thank you for being here anyway. I love you all, and I'll see you all in the next one. Mwah. Have a fabulous new moon in Leo. I'd love to know how this shows up for you. See you later. Bye.